For this video, this is actually something I built and filmed a year ago, never put together, but this is the rear winch bumper build. Pretty simple build, but something that really adds a lot to the truck and fills out the whole like flatbed camper design, at least for me. I feel like that empty space with the bumper back there just didn't look right, so adding a winch in there and the lights kind of just filled that in, some big recovery points. I'm really happy with the way this turned out, yeah, we'll cut to building it 1 year ago. But before we do, kind of haphazardly filmed that, so I didn't really announce what type of materials I'm using. So you'll be watching me cut 3/16 inch plate steel for the winch tray, and it's all gusseted and everything. And then I'm welding with a MIG welder, and I'm cutting the steel with a steel cutting blade on a wood cutting like circular saw. So it's a worm drive construction saw that someone gave me, and I put a Diablo Steel Demon steel cutting blade on it, and that worked super well for cutting out all the square pieces on the winch bumper. All right guys, let's cut to the build. Okay, it's fully ground out now. Check out how much better that line looks. A lot cleaner. And we're gonna get some paint on it and then see if we need to polish it some more to make it look nice and smooth. Just want it to look as good as it can, so pretty happy with this. Yeah, what do you think, Christian?
It's hot.
It's hot? Yeah, it's in the sun. Fully welded inside and out in the corners. Pretty happy with it. I'm gonna put some paint on it. So I just weighed the bumper, 113 pounds with everything you see here. That's the two lights, the fairlead, the winch, the hardware, the controller, everything here. So we went up from 49 pounds to 113, so a 64 pound increase. So that's the negative here, is adding 64 pounds to the truck. The positive, got a badass looking winch on the back, and would be really nice to be able to use that to recover backwards, especially if you're by yourself, go off into a ditch or do something like that, and you can pull back instead of having to pull forward through the obstacle. So stoked on this overall. I really love the way it looks, and I think 63 pounds in total really isn't too bad for what it is. So now I'm gonna try and install it by myself on the back of the truck. Okay, so here you can see where I was having an initial problem putting it in, and look how lucky I got. This is right to the edge here. This is the winch controller. That's the interior frame boxing that I did. I know it looks rusty, but this will go in right here, and that is like an absolute perfect fit. When I made that, I just thought it would fit right there. I didn't actually measure it. It's kind of dumb, but I cannot believe how tight that fit is, and it actually works. So this is gonna be perfect for the winch controller. All right, guys, this is gonna be the first time I close this up and see the rear winch bumper, how it looks with the truck all together. So I thought I'd record my first reaction. I think it's gonna look pretty good, but I'm excited to see right here. Make sure nothing's hitting. Yes. Oh, that looks sick. I'm super stoked on that. Oh man, I'm so happy. Really fills out the back, which is something I thought always looked a little funny with the old bumper, was just the straight tube. Kind of looked like an empty dead space. But that just looks so much better. All the angles are looking good. Oh yeah, Super stoked. All right, and here it is, actually having to use the rear winch to recover myself. Before I tried to cross this little patch of snow, I have all 3 kids in the car. We're in the Sierras. We're about an hour from self-service. So I did see, okay, there's easy places to winch off if I do get stuck. But yeah, I was really surprised. This is only 30 feet long, and I got completely stuck in it. It was about 3 feet deep, so I totally centered out the truck. But used the rear winch so that I could pull myself backwards and go back to the main road instead of pulling myself forward and keep doing this loop, which I didn't know how much worse it was going to get, or if I was going to have more of these little snow patches. Just like a reminder that something silly like this little patch of snow can catch you out in a bad situation. Like I had all 3 kids, it's cold out, and we're at least an hour from cell service. It was a good reminder for me to always be prepared, and a nice opportunity to be able to use the rear winch in a real life situation. You were napping, we got stuck, Olivia. Here's the setup for the tree. First time doing this off a tree. I'm a newbie, guys. But we used the flatlink soft shackle to a tree saver. It feels super secure knowing that's not a hook and it's not gonna come flying at me, so now I'm gonna put it back. All right, guys, so all finished up. Let's check it out, how it turned out. So this is about 1 year after it was finished. It's 2023, November right now, and I think I filmed that almost exactly a year ago. So it's kind of dirty and it's not perfect paint anymore, but I'm still really happy with the finished product on this bumper. The winch control box ended up being in a perfect spot. If the wireless remote doesn't work, I can still access the regular wired remote right there. And I have the wire in the truck and the remote in the truck as well. Lights have been awesome, although they're too bright for reverse lights. They're too bright for my little reverse camera, which is right here. Having that super slim top of the winch is awesome with the relocated control box to right over there, and then clocking the handle worked out perfectly too. You can see the handles back here, so all I got to do is reach in and I can manipulate the handle from right here. That works super well. You can see this is rattling loose here. I got to tighten that up. But overall, just super excited with how this one came out. I love the rear recovery points and just kind of the general aesthetic. Reminds me of kind of like those big Dakar rally big trucks. I love the rear of how this truck turned out, and the bumper is kind of like a big part of that. I feel like totally fills up that space without creating too much of like an overhang, without sticking out too far, without adding too much weight. I think it only added 10 pounds over the weight of the bumper, over the weight of the winch to the whole setup. So that is to say the bumper with the winch cradle is only 10 pounds more than the bumper without it. And then of course you add the bumper, the winch into it. That's where you get that other 55 pounds. But yeah, guys, I think that wraps it up for the rear winch bumper build video. The supercharger, which you saw in the last video, which I think I'll show you right now, because someone was like, you didn't show the supercharger on the truck. So I better do that right now. Anyways, that's the supercharger on the truck, and hopefully doing more and more YouTube videos more frequently. I've got some new equipment that's gonna help me make them a little quicker, edit them a little quicker. I think I'll just make more simple videos and get more stuff out. So yeah, guys, rear winch bumper build. Next video is either gonna be camping and cooking, or I'll do a full walk around of the truck. So I'll see you there.